In a world where your job hangs by a thread and thoughts of escape fill your mind, where whiny ass salesmen look to you for leadership and cynicism rules your dreams, but you have a desire to break free. You feel the need to take control. Now there exists a place where the secrets of sales management are given to those who believe. Help my sales team sucks.com. Free your mind.
Hello, I'm your host, Russell Volts. How to double your sales in 6 to 12 months. That's what this whole series is all about. I've done it many times, and I'm sure if I can do it, so can you. This is episode number 2. Sales management's number 1 rule is first break all the rules. What do world-class managers do? What if you and I could climb into the head of the very best sales managers planet-wide? I mean, these are guys that are 5 and 10 and 100 times more effective than you and I. What would that be like? But you know, that information obviously isn't available. Or is it? Same thing. They look at their 3 primary functions as recruiting talent, helping people to use their talent, and to retain people that have talent. Let's talk about recruiting talent. These world-class managers are constantly, I mean every day, whether they're at work or they're at home or they're, on the phone or whatever they happen to be doing, they're constantly on the lookout for people with talent. Now let's talk about talent for a second. About what is talent? Talent is anything that you successfully do habitually. So it's a habit to you. You took to it like a duck to water when you first tried it, and you become better and better as time goes by. It's something you have an innate tendency toward. That's a talent. Now, skills and experience are important, but talent is 100 times more important than skills and experience. So let's talk about the second thing that managers do, and that's help people to use their talent. World-class managers believe you cannot put in what God left out. All you can do is draw out what God had put in. That's hard enough. So what they're trying to do then is to find people with talent and put them in the roles where they can use this talent every single day. In fact, they'll even go as far as to redefine a role. They'll say, I've got this job for you, but if I tweak it like this, you're going to be using your talents more every single day. In fact, and what they'll do is they'll work around the weaknesses, not try to improve them. They'll work around those weaknesses. They'll put somebody in, have somebody else do those kinds of work. They find them some tools. They find them some quick shortcuts. And frankly, I as a manager, if I have somebody with a major weakness, but they have a major strength, so what? They don't do their paperwork as well. I don't really care because they're using their strengths to the betterment of the company. In fact, if I find somebody who has great strengths, but I've got no fit for them and they're in my organization, I'm going to help them find someplace else, either in another organization, in another company, in another industry. I'll help them do that so that their skills, their talents are being better utilized. So how do we retain people with talent? Well, we found over and over and over again, I heard this back in the 70s and 80s, that people join companies, but they stay for a manager, or they leave because of the manager. I've seen so many times where, people just don't click with that particular manager. World-class managers, here's what they do different than most of the rest of us. And this is something I've endeavored to do my entire career, and that's to take the time and the energy to get to know, and here's the hard part, care about their employees. Now, the old, what they used to call it, classical management style, back in, prior to the 1970s, was, people are nothing more than an object, nothing more than a tool to be used. Well, obviously that didn't work real well. And our new approaches, and as frankly, even the best managers in the old days did the same thing. They cared about the people that worked for them. They got to know them. They got to know their likes, their dislikes, their hobbies, their sports, their family, the names of their kids and their pets, and what their strengths and their weaknesses are. And then be able to say, as a whole person, I care about you, I care about what's important to you, and I'm going to help you get it. So here's the acid test. Gallup, when they were interviewing these 80,000 people, 80,000 managers, and they were finding the best of the best, they found 12 questions that these managers, or areas these managers, were concerned about. And they created a test basically for you to be able to test your work environment to see, do you have a really strong workplace or not? 12 questions. Now, the more of these questions you can answer positively, or your employees answer positively, the stronger your workforce. And they rated them from a 1 to a 5. 1, they strongly disagree. 5, they strongly agreed. So let's take the first 2 questions. These basically fall under the area of, what do I get? So as an employee, number 1, do I know what is expected of me in the workplace? Number 2, do I have the materials and equipment I need to do my work effectively? The second area of questions answer the question basically, what do I give? In other words, the employee's saying, okay, what am I giving back to the company? So question number 3, at work, do I have the opportunity to do what I do best every day? Boy, that's a key one. That's a great one. In fact, our next episode is going to be all about that. It's phenomenal work. Number 4, in the last 7 days, have I received recognition or praise for doing good work? Number 5, does my supervisor seem to care about me as a person? Didn't we touch on that? That's important. Number 6, is there someone at work who encourages my development? In other words, moving from one level to the next. The third set of questions answer the area, do I belong here? Number 7, at work, do my opinions seem to count? Number 8, does the mission, purpose of my company make me feel like my job is important? Number 9, are my coworkers committed to doing quality work? Number 10, do I have a special friend at work? And lastly, in the area of how can we all grow? Number 11, in the last 6 months, has someone at work talked to me about my progress? And lastly, this last year, have I had the opportunity at work to learn and grow? So these 12 questions, 1 to 5. 1, strongly disagree. 5, strongly agree. And hopefully you're getting all 5s. And if you are, you're phenomenal, which is, pretty much where you're headed. But it gives you a groundwork and where to start from as, a sales manager on what you can do and what you can't do. And the reason this whole subject is so important to me, I've been rated as one of the top managers in many, many companies I've worked for, primarily because it's a passion of mine. So let's talk about Gallup and their results. Their key results, they found 2 areas that were vital ingredients to having a successful team. And that's your employees, do they have strong relationships, and are they getting frequent praise? You know something? It's interesting to find out that they went back and they studied these organizations that rated very high. That's not necessarily companies, but organizations. Guess what? They were the most profitable. They took over and over and over again where they'd have 7, 8, 10, 15 different divisions, and they'd do these tests, ask those same 12 questions. Those that rated the highest, always, 100% of the time, were the most profitable. Well, it's time to take action for you. My recommendation is go grab the book, First Break All the Rules by Marcus Buckingham. Why don't you go visit our website, helpmysalesteamsucks.com, and leave a comment. You're going to see right down below there an area to comment on. So what I really want to hear about is you. Not me. It's not our company. It's basically you and getting your sales team to double sales. What are your issues? What are your big questions? What are your concerns? What are your thoughts about this particular blog post? Secondly, opt in. You're going to find right over on this side, I believe, is an opt-in area where we're going to get a free weekly newsletter with exclusive content. This is content you're not going to find on the website, all geared toward helping you double your sales in the next 6 to 12 months.